Okay. Now there should be sound. Oh man, I've already dropped all the frames. All the frames are dropping. Alright, let's see how long this lasts. We're on the splash screen and the fucking thing's already falling apart. That's great, isn't it? Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Well, I did say in the announcement that we're going to stream this as long as we can before my computer melts. Because it can barely run it normally. I think we're probably good. So we're going to have to do some settings. And I know how fun this is. I'm not going to click this button until we're done with this run. And if I'm doing it on stream, cool. If I'm not doing it on stream, that's probably what's going to happen. So let's go in here because there's a couple of things we need to click that I usually don't have clicked. Wow, that signal is just... Yeah, you better get back into the green spectrum. Ugh. Already having dropped 14,000 frames. It's great, it's fine. Okay, guys, so what are we doing? We're doing Baldur's Gate. We're doing the last standard-ass vanilla run of Baldur's Gate, because there are count them, 4 achievements that I don't have. I have 5 completed fucking runs. I did honor mode. I'll talk about it. But I wanted to have a little bit of fun with this, and it's also been another 2 weeks since I've streamed because I have a 2-week attention span from the look of things. Okay. You know, let's put that down to like 5-2 for my own sanity's sake. Hey, that's there. That's interesting. We don't need to deal with that, though. That's fine. These are all fine. I could do that. Should I do that? Oh, man. I should have thought about that. Let's just say no for now, because we need to make decisions that are decisions. Okay, so keybinds I shouldn't fuck with. We're running this bitch in borderless windowed. What's this auto overall preset? Maybe we just put it on high, guys. Maybe it doesn't need the overall preset to be ultra. You know? Maybe just high. Maybe just high. Because we need this to run. We should... anti-aliasing's fine. Enables soft shadows for ambient light. I don't know if we need to deal with that. I see a somewhat discernible difference. We're gonna have to figure that out. We don't need God Rays. We also don't need Bloom. Bloom's fine. I'm turning this off because I don't know how much that actually accounts for the demand. This game eats up 90% of my CPU every time I run it. Probably because it's been running at ultra instinct mode. Dynamic crowds. Okay, we're gonna leave that on and see if that matters. That's not really gonna be a problem until Act 3. When I think about it. I think the standard on volume across the board is pretty solid. Mute when inactive, sure. Point and click frequency, the highest forever. Never force mono. Fuck that shit. Okay, so here we're gonna get to the point where things are gonna start hurting me physically to actually do. We're showing pings, display recent activity, find the combat log, wind, and turn-based highlights. This is all fine. This is all fine, I'm pretty sure. Do we show text background? No, it's better without. It's much more readable with, though. Alright, chat, for your sake. We're gonna put the big, gross shadow thing every time we have to talk to people. I've messed with this enough. This is fine. Automatically, containers automatically. No, we do not want that on. That'll save us some time. We don't need any of this automated shit. Why show items in Stack Splitter? Display the Stack Splitter UI when. So, accessibility. No. It's cool that this is here, but I'm not. No. That's fine. So here's the unfortunate thing, chat. I'm sorry. This is a stream. I'm sorry. It's okay. We'll leave that one on. We'll see how bad that can get. Like the violence is fine with American censorship, but the other bit, does everyone not affect choices of interest? Access to romance options. So this is okay. This is so the violent cinematics aspect of that is what worries me, because I'm wondering what else that takes out. I could just look up what that takes out, because I don't want this stream and or channel to get dinged on either here or YouTube. So let's just do a quick Google search, because why not? Why not just do a quick Google search? This is thrilling content, isn't it, chat? You can tell how thrilling it is by the bitrate drop. Fuck me. I'm really gonna have to call Spectrum at some point. Alright, so what is... Okay, you gotta love the internet, because you're like, what are the contents of the show sexual and violent cinematics checklist? And the first thing is how to unlock all the sex scenes. That's great. Any way to disable sex scenes but keep it. Okay, very helpful. Nothing. So, we're gonna try to make sure that we don't... Oh, hey, Kaya, what's up? We're gonna try to be Johnny on the spot with this, because I don't want to cut out any of the violence just because the world is prudish. So... How much of the stream has this been already? This has been 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, we're not even out of settings. This is what an RPG with Connor is like. Yeah, we're gonna do one last good old run through Baldur's Gate 3, because there are like 4 things I have to do. 3 of them, technically 4. I'm good, just studying my brain away. How are you? How's your day? Oh, I'm doing all right. I had a real big checklist of stuff today. I had an interview, and that went weird, so I didn't want to think about the rest of it, but I got some of my school stuff done. Enough that I can justify streaming, because I need my brain to simultaneously turn off and refresh. The best way to do that is to have me play Baldur's Gate 3. Okay. I think we're good. We're gonna try to be alright here. Oh, hey, what's up? But yeah, okay, I think we'll be okay as long as I'm not too stupid about leaving certain scenes running. I don't think we're gonna get to the point where that's a problem. I really don't. What is going on here? We don't need to have this many dropped frames. Come on, bitrate. It'll iron itself out, probably. Or it'll become a real big problem, but we did turn down some of the settings, so maybe this file won't be so insane to upload. We're not going to continue. We are going to go with a new game, because the Gale playthrough is not as easy, and there is a particular way that I like playing this game, and it's with high charisma characters, because it's how I play RPGs. High charisma forever, because what better way to express the fantasies of someone with social anxiety? No, but for real, being able to talk like, I played this game enough. There's in the second act, there's like 3 boss fights that are just completable with a dialogue check. So we're gonna do that, and to do that, you've got all of your charisma casters. If you're not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, we'll get to the actual screen. I could play on balanced for the sake of my sanity. I'm not gonna play another honor mode run, like, probably ever, because that was a huge 500-hour pain. So we're gonna go with Tactician, which is that fun in the middle bit where I actually get to have save files to abuse, but it's still hard. Because I played this game enough to know how to fuck around. So, welcome to Baldur's Gate, y'all. This is the first time I'm gonna let this cutscene play in like 490 hours. It's kinda nuts. Alright, we got good bitrate. Let's hope that lasts for this cutscene. Get the pointer out of here. Praying for your computer right now. Oh man, you don't even know. So, I'm, like, I know I like to speak in, like, obscene, overestimations on things, and, you know, I'm a little flamboyant in my wording about shit. I wasn't kidding when I said that this game takes up 90% of my CPU power when I run it. I had Task Manager open the last time I was playing just to see, because it was kind of finicky. And yeah, no, straight up 90% of my computer's CPU was dedicated just to running Baldur's Gate 3. Now, we did down the settings a little bit, so hopefully it won't stutter when I turn the camera. At the sacrifice of God rays and ray tracing. Oh gee, how will we survive? But if you're not familiar with this amazing, amazing game, it is the newest sequel in the Baldur's Gate franchise. The Baldur's Gate is the video game franchise based off of the Forgotten Realms Dungeons & Dragons setting. The last game that came out in this series was 3 editions of D&D ago. Playing in a weird hybrid of AD&D and 3rd edition? Like bare 3rd edition too. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, let's reset the tutorials. Why not? We're fucking around. So, Larian's games are awesome. If you haven't played Divinity and you like RPGs, play Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2. Straight up, the last update for Divinity Original Sin 2 was fucking like a month before this game came out, and I think that game came out in like 20. Am I going crazy in saying that it's 2017? I'm not gonna look it up. It was out for years. But yeah, this is actually Dungeons and Dragons video game. It's very pretty. So we have our various cast of scampy characters, our origin characters who represent different baseline Dungeons and Dragons archetypes, where you have your classes, your cleric, your wizard, your fighter, your bisexual, the other bisexual, and the best pansexual, which is canonically all of the starting classes of Dungeons and Dragons. Nah, but for real. Nah, this game's just good. So the last thing I did was, so each of these guys have their own story, and Divinity has a similar system where you can make your custom character and you can play the game as your custom character. And, you know, the story will be the story for custom character. However, there are also origin characters if you don't want to deal with the character building aspects of the video game, because you don't have as much freedom as you would in a tabletop setting. So you can say, okay, I want to be Lae'zel. Lae'zel has her own story and own specific cutscenes and interactions, and even like personal quest line that really you only get the full spectrum of if you're playing as her. So when you play this game, there are 8 games to be played here, as each of the origin characters, which are Astarion, Lae'zel, Gale, Shadowheart, Will, Karlach, and Dirge. And this is the basic Dirge. He is canonically a sorcerer, but most people play him as a paladin. Each of them have their own story. For example, this is Dirge. This is he was the character of the most recent playthrough I went through. It's crazy.
Blood whispers to me, kill, kill, and kill again.
God, I'm surprised you've never played like an RPG.
To reap death in this world, and when this foul urge
well, if I can get beyond to agree
to
to actually finish a D&D campaign, I heartily invite you to join him. And join me in bugging him to do that.
I must resist the dark.
Because tabletop RPGs are awesome. Because you get to do whatever the hell you want all the time.
And what happened to me before my twitching knife hand writes a tragedy in blood.
So, functionally, there are 8 types of Baldur's Gate playthrough. I just love bugging you. Yeah, no, that's the way to do it. Just keep harassing him until he does the thing, because it's good for him. So, Astarion has his own storyline, which can go multiple ways, different endings. There's like each of these characters has a series of interactions over their personal quest line that can result in like 5 to 7 unique endings, and that's just their personal endings. That's not even accounting for the people that they can be with. So like most recently I played as Will, and we'll probably meet Karlach this stream. Karlach's whole deal is that she is from Avernus, which is the first layer of hell in D&D. We can go into Planescape. If I start talking about Planescape, we're going to be on this character screen for even longer. But her whole thing is that her heart is made out of an infernal engine, because she was a warrior in the Archdevil Zariel's army. And now that she's back in the Prime Material plane, that shit's going to blow up. So when you say are playing Will, which is the only real good ending for Will, honestly, if you decide to romance Karlach, there's a decision at the end where it's like, oh hey, do I just let her blow up, or do I do something the fuck else? So depending on who your character interacts with, who they romance, what the player dynamic is between you and the rest of your party, yeah, Kai, don't worry about it. It's only a possible ending for lazy people who don't go the extra step. Yeah, honestly, so I'm going to talk about a bunch of spoilers, because it's been literally 2 years or more, if you're including the early access. Karlach, within the first 3 major updates of this game, did not have a lot of good options for her ending, because her whole thing is that she was stuck in hell for 10 years. She does not want to go back. And if the one thing that she keeps telling you is, I'm not going back, I'm never going to go back, you can't fucking make me go back. And if you respect her wishes, she dies. It used to be the only way to avoid sending her back and to avoid having her blow up were commit to a spoiler that I'm not going to get into yet, which also is kind of like a secondary bad ending. But there's an ending for another character where they're given a like godly amount of power, and they just use that to fix the thing. So depending on who you're playing and then who you end up with, the various endings, like they're interconnected. There's a lot of variability. So each of these characters has their own unique storyline with a series of endings depending on your influence, if they are your companions or what your choice is. You have like 5 to 7 endings depending on what you want to do for the main storyline versus your own personal quest. The unique aspect of Dirge is that Dirge is not a normal companion. Dirge is not findable in the game. He cannot join the party. So that's the other cool thing, is that like if you do want to make your own character, custom, you can do whatever you want with that. You can be whatever class. You can have whatever background. Hey, what a... Good to see so many people coming in from Baldur's Gate. Let's hope... I can already feel the heat coming off of my fucking computer. Alright, we really need to get going. So the baseline is that there are 8 stories, essentially. You have, and then each of those stories have a variety of endings based off of what you want to do. Dirge is the only one unique enough to say, okay, this is not an origin character, this is an alternate protagonist. Dirge is the only one who does not show up in your standard Tav playthrough, and the default name for custom character is Tav because the name of the dog of the president of the company, his name is Gustav, so they named the base player character Tav in the original early access files. So that's fun. But yeah, there's a lot, and they added so much more with all of these updates, and the newest update as of current date is going to be patch 8.0, which will add 12 new subclasses so everybody gets one. Every class gets one. There's a lot. So I played a variety of characters. I have a failed honor mode run as Asteria. I have a failed honor mode... I have 2 failed honor mode runs as both Gale and Shadowheart. This one was tragic. I got like right to the precipice of Act 2 and then it ended. I keep using the terminology. For anyone who doesn't know, the highest difficulty in any Larian game is honor mode, which means you have one save file, which means no save scumming your way into succeeding through every single thing. It is the hardest difficulty for enemy AI, and in this game in particular, relating back to current Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, it gives specific enemies legendary actions and resistances, which means that there's not only a unique dynamic in which all enemies will act, they also have things that they can only specifically do in both Tactician, which is the difficulty we're going to be playing on, because easy is just a little too easy now. And honor mode, also, if your entire party dies, your save is wiped. You can continue the save in Tactician mode, but it will be marked as a dishonorable run, because you did not complete it in honor mode. You didn't win, is the whole deal. So that's frustrating. So what we are going to do today is one of the classes that I originally started with in the 1.0 launch in early access, but then I just got my ass whooped so many times I swapped to a different thing. We are going to be playing a bard. But we're not going to be playing just any bard. We're going to be playing a swords bard. So this is going to go swimmingly, I promise. But yeah, so tactician we're going to be playing. It's going to have all the extra difficulty stuff. The enemies are going to be smarter. They're going to be they're going to they're going to be just as unfair as I am because I know what's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like once you play the game enough, you really like appreciate the extra layer of challenge that it adds. I am trying to think. Okay. We could do a funny thing. So, baseline D&D 5th edition had the issue of like, oh hey, whatever player race you pick has different bonuses to abilities, and Tiefling had a baseline charisma bonus of +2. So, and the Infernal Kink, everyone went that route. So, a Tiefling Bard, oh boy, what a bog standard ass character. But we're playing a Swords Bard and it's Baldur's Gate, so fuck it. Let's see. I think Zariel Tieflings are probably the best bet for. Because so a traditional bard is a spellcaster. It's a spellcaster and it's a support class because that's what the bard is. Game reminds me I need to play Hogwarts Legacy more. About the game when it released, and I've only played like 5%. Yeah, when Hogwarts Legacy came out, it looked interesting. It's got a lot of game stuff that's interesting, but part of me just can't really go back to that mythos for real world reasons that I don't want to think about. So, the question is, how do we build this character? And then more importantly, what will they look like? It's a good question. But yeah, bards are usually a support class, but Swords Bard is interesting because Swords Bard channels that support bonus, the Bardic Inspiration. It's not that bad, it's just slow. Yeah, I mean... So, I mean, I think Hogwarts Legacy counts as an RPG, so you can say that you've played something. Okay, let's not get too distracted. I know that Zariel Tieflings get a couple of things. The merciless strength, they can channel enemies. We are also in a cleric class, so let's correct that. We are going bard. Where is bard? There is bard. So getting Thaumaturgy for free is fun because then that frees up one of our cantrips. Those are the spells that we can cast without using spell slots, which are essentially bullets in the magic gun. Let's see. Touch Seal Slayer there, and Blade Ward is garbage, and True Strike is garbage. And we're on Tactician, so Friends is problematic. Why don't we take Minor Illusion? So I'm probably going to breeze through some of this. If we're using a spell slot, we may as well use Dissonant Whispers, because it's funny. Bane is something we're probably going to have to pick up at a later level. And let's see. So I should have thought of this ahead of time. But yeah, so this uses 5e's version of the D&D character creation. You have point buy, so you can use different points to assign levels in a particular skill between strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Charisma is our casting aspect, because we are a bard. So we do want that to be high, but there are some decisions that I'm going to try to make that may benefit us to keep that at so you get an extra point in any one aspect, any one ability, for every even number. So like right now you see this is 17, this being at 16 is exactly the same outcome, but once we get this to 18 it adds an additional point into our modifier for any charisma based stuff, since that is our casting ability. We're going to want to build that up. But we should also look through skills and see if there's anything we need to change in here. So we've got Intimidation, Deception, and Performance. We have proficiency across the board in all of the charisma skills. That's really all I was going to check for.